Lynette, an old friend of mine who I went to UBC with, and I've always been talking about homeschooling. So Lynette here, and Max here. Lynette's been homeschooling Max since he was grade 1. He went to kindergarten, and then from grade 1 onwards he was homeschooled. So getting more information, and let's see how it goes.
There's a lot of people who will just have independent groups, and then they'll put it on the Facebook page, and you can decide if you want to join or not. Or they'll also list things that are in the community that are. Max also goes to a tutoring center called Brain Boost. He goes 3 days a week. Yeah.
How many hours per day?
Whatever you want. You just kind of see what fits. You decide what you want your kid to take.
Yeah.
And then you just decide what classes would suit them, and if they have the availability of the teacher, and then you just work it out with them. There's lots of different ways of doing homeschool. So you can do one way where you actually follow the curriculum, and it doesn't. But you don't have to do it in order. All you have to do is hit your goals within the year any way you want, and that's how we do it. So when he goes back into regular school, if he goes back, we're on track with everybody. There's also ways where you can do self-design, and basically you can decide as the parent what you think your kids should know, and that's it. There's tons of resources. And then with eBus, who we use, we can totally talk to our teacher and find out different ways of how to go about things. Our eBus overseeing teacher. Yeah, so you can email her anytime. And sometimes if we want anything, we can ask for resources, and because eBus is kind of like public school homeschool.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, if you want to look into it, there's many different routes you can take, so you can choose whatever's right for you. So you very much can make it totally individualized for your family or for your child. And in the beginning of the year, they'll give you a plan. They talk to you, and then they give you a plan, and they say these are the things that you kind of want to work around.
Yeah.
These are the marks you want to hit, and then you just kind of decide how you want to do it, and you do it, and then you do the test. You can test if you want to.
Yeah.
But we don't really do a lot of other than spelling. We don't do a lot of testing. But the thing about homeschool is I find you really don't necessarily need to test because you know what they know. I think we do math that's probably harder because I base it all around real life things. So that's how we want to do our homeschool is to show the relevance of things in real life.
Yeah.
The other day we were learning how to find percentages. I taught him how to learn to deduct the percentage off of it. Right? There's some things we don't do because
it's not
I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
The really nice advantages of homeschooling, right? Is
There's no ceiling, right?
No,
You just keep going.
your kids are willing to go down that path, you just go. We do try to focus everything around real life and how it's going to pertain to it and relate to it. Okay, for example, we were talking about community and governance and how you have to be contributing for your community to thrive and for it to be everything. And so then we decided to do a potlatch with our friends. We invited a few families, and then but I said to everybody, the kids have to make the food because we need them to understand and feel how their contribution makes for a greater good for everybody. Except for his science and language arts and some of the math, I teach all the core. And then when he goes to Brain Boost, that's for the enrichment. All of us have our bad moments, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm patient. Max, am I patient?
No, not really.
Not really.
Well,
But it's a decision we made, right? It's a decision we need to do this. So some days you hold it together, and other days you don't. We wanted to just do mostly projects. That's an excellent way to teach things because that's how life is going to run. Life isn't going to be somebody's not going to hand you a worksheet and that's it. If you wanted to do projects because that makes more sense to you, then you would just teach within the project, right? A lot of times I'll explain things by using YouTube videos or actually going into it, right? Because that's a lot less frustrating than you trying to explain it or show it to him in a book.
Yeah.
And that was something I did do in the beginning, is I tried teaching him exactly the way I learned in school, and I thought that was the format, because it's the only format I knew. So it was learning that we didn't have to do it that way at all, and getting out of thinking that you have to teach the way you were taught, because you have the luxury of taking breaks whenever you want. So a lot of times we'll do a little bit of one subject, and then we'll stop and make him do push-ups. No, just to recalibrate, right? And just to get your circulation and to kind of recenter. That's a big reason why we started homeschooling, was because we just didn't think that format was going to be a situation we would thrive in. I think it's better Sometimes I see there's a little bit of a disconnect where kids are all doing or thinking or seeing or talking a certain way, and it'll just be his genuine amount of esteem. Yeah, it hasn't been affected. It hasn't been affected by. Yeah, for me the cons are all the time I have to spend on, but I enjoy it, but at the same time, it's a lot of work. Draw pictures for him because I just want it to be very specific to him so that the learning experience is very relevant and matters to him. It's just really time consuming.
Do you see the benefits of doing it rather than copying like
Yes.
what is the
I do, yeah. Because you get such a better response, right? Like you just spend your days doing things. And even if they come with you to just do errands, I didn't realize until our teacher was, like my EBUS teacher told me, she was like, no, you know, there's so much value in them seeing you be a functioning adult.
I'm not sure.
I don't know if you even know what it's like to be in a classroom.
It's been too long.
Yeah.
Kindergarten.
And it was kindergarten.
I know what it's like. I can do different subjects. Like how, like when I do computer class.
There's extra subjects that you have available to you. You're so lucky.
I got some great information from Lynette about homeschooling. I think that's something that we're definitely going to explore for Zachary. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some information too.